Welcome to D.
Swing and a miss. And the World Series Game 7 winning Curly W is in the books. Dagger! It's 1974. The Washington Capitals are the 2018 Stanley Cup champions.
Don't like that. I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
Despite all this, despite the churn, my approval ratings keep going up.
We are ready to give our 500% support back to this franchise, back to this city, back to this team after Snyder leaves. And then this is the poo-poo you put on the field.
For the very first time, the Washington Mystics are WNBA champions.
The Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels.
I'm going to support fake teams that can't ruin my life.
Did you call bank? I call game.
Thank you. Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.
Hello, one. Hello, all. Episode number 368 of the DTC podcast. Today is MLK Day. FP, thank you for blocking off a little bit of time here midday to hit a bunch of these topics with me for the show. I mean, I gotta be honest. Everybody was talking a big game. Oh, we're gonna join this week.
Where is everybody? What's going on here?
They
all have the day off.
Exactly. We got two people out to lunch. We got two people just out on life. We got one guy telling us to watch these movies that I'm very fearful are gonna get big fat DNFs by the time we finish watching it for OMC. We got one guy telling us maybe I'm in this evening. You know, I don't care about college football, but he didn't realize that he had pre-existing plans for the national championship game. So that was an interesting little aside. We had a couple guys that had a late night out, not out at like out, but it was a religious thing yesterday that they were out, and now they're waking up at just guys all over the place. You and I we commandeered the chat and said, you know what, if we don't do it now, it may not happen. The week has been short weeks. You know, I don't know if you feel this way, but short weeks at work are long weeks. Like that one extra day, it seems like the same amount of work gets done in just one less day.
Well, you gotta be smart. I made my short week even shorter, and I'm taking the second half of the week off.
To wrap around, so smart, because you were just telling me in the green room, like
you gotta do it.
Monday off, Thursday, Friday. You pretend to work Tuesday. You make some emails
come
on
Wednesday. Come in Tuesday. Make sure everybody can cover you on Wednesday and dip.
I can't hate it, man. I can't hate it. Look, there's a lot happening. We got to talk about. I mean, the chat was very lively Saturday and Sunday. Very lively
all weekend. It's been
intense. It's been intense.
A lot of movings.
There's a lot of additional firings. You know, I don't know if you want to start with the coaching carousel. Obviously, there's a big one that happened yesterday on the heels of there's a couple big ones actually happened, but there was also a couple of hirings. There's a couple of interviews happening. Tennessee looks like they're not just flirting with your boy McDaniels. It looks like they're actually gonna make that happen. So like there's a lot happening, and that's all off the field stuff. I feel like we should start with what we saw on the field, because there's a lot to discuess there as well. I'll go wherever you want to go.
No, let's just go game slate order, knock this out. It was best weekend of football. That's it.
It is. This past weekend is the best weekend of football, right? You're getting 4 high quality games. It's the final 8, so to speak, right? Like this is it. This is the elite 8 of the NFL. We can debate that, and I'll tell you right here. And this is not hot takey. There was a lot of the AI told us to clip a lot of last week's episode because it had viral was it tendencies or virality components or whatever.
There's a lot of heat between you and me last week.
Yeah, and listen,
we'll have some heat this week.
None of it's personal. A couple of folks that know us in real life came up to me over the weekend. We're like, "Are you an FP okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're totally fine." Like there is a component of this is for the show. Yeah, I don't think either of us
stir the pot.
Of course.
And it's like verbal caffeine.
And I believe that you and I both truly believe what we were saying last week. It was not just, clip it and try to make it go viral.
Absolutely.
I'm 100% on my position. I will argue it right now.
I'll fight you tooth and nail.
I know. And we're not going to do that, right? But there was a lot of happenings, and if we're going to take it through, the one big one, obviously, and maybe before we get to the games, FP, I have stated now multiple times this season, the NFL has a very real problem. It's an undertone in the gambling stuff. It's an undertone in the Vegas stuff. It's an undertone in the fixing. Like it's all sort of transgently.
Careful there.
I don't think that's the right word. It's all somehow slightly connected. At its core, I don't believe the NFL can consistently tell me what a catch is. I think this is a huge problem, and we literally saw it in back-to-back days where in both instances you have a receiver making a catch, taking 2 steps, being down by contact because the knee is down or they're laying flat on their back. In one, you have a defender prying away a ball after the player is clearly on the ground. In the other, you have a defensive player making a play on the ball while they're still kind of tussling to the ground.
They're very similar.
One is called an interception and legit decided the game. One was called a catch and decided the game, right?
Yes.
Or again, it led to the decision ultimately in how it played out. The NFL has to fix this, and no amount of AI is going to change the interpretation of surviving the ground. But to me, and this is my opinion, I will continue to maintain it. I've been consistent on this. Surviving the ground is not a component of a catch in the NFL or scoring a touchdown in the NFL. The rules are very clear. You need to have 2 feet in bounds, and you need to maintain control until you are contacted down or you break the plane of the end zone. That has nothing to do with this survivability nonsense, and that's where the vagaries exist. Do you agree with me?
Absolutely. And the worst thing that could have happened to the NFL this weekend was the exact same play happening, because right now the NFL has to decide, did they screw over the Bills or did they screw over the Bears?
Yes, and I'm saying this as a Broncos fan, and I was cheering for the Broncos. The Bills got completely hosed.
Yes.
Sean got like all the dominoes that have happened here.
Major dominoes that's going to impact the NFL moving forward.
They're not coincidental. They are directly attributed to a blown call that would have given them the ball in overtime on the 21-yard line and driving with a chance to win the game, either by continuing to run offensive plays or by kicking a field goal. The fact that they didn't review it, that the Bills burned a timeout to kind of force everyone to look at it, and it still didn't happen. Meanwhile, the exact same play and scenario plays out on Sunday night. Literally 24 hours later, the same thing happens. The refs do stop and look at it, and I do believe they make the right call.
Yeah,
in favor of the Rams in the Rams-Bears game.
Well, it depends on who you ask, right? Because everybody in Chicago say
it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And you agree, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what everybody thinks.
From a fan base standpoint, from all of us, we were just told on Saturday night by commentators, by every interception, by every referee media type on Twitter, that is 100% the correct call. And then you come in on Sunday, same play, and everybody crickets. You don't have any of the refs on Twitter saying anything.
Well, not just crickets.
Any of the officiating officials. You have nobody saying
to review it. Like, no, it's not cricket. Sorry, I'm a dissent here. Just a second. It's not
the media types are.
Oh yeah. Well, yes, exactly. But in both scenarios, and I'm zeroing in here on what happened to the Bills. One, because I feel terrible for them, and they legitimately got screwed.
They just blew up their entire franchise over that.
Even if you want to call that for that to be called an interception, then the player must not have been down.
Yes,
and he's clearly down.
Yes,
he is down with the ball on the ground. So now you've set a precedent where even whether it's a running back, if somebody's down on the ground, you can just take the ball from them and claim. And here's FP. This is the last thing I'll say, and then we'll get into the slate, because I don't want. I could legit talk about this for 60 minutes. You're putting the players now in a situation, and I've long held the personal belief that I don't like the constant celebrating. I don't like the constant running to the end zone to celebrate as a team. I don't like any of that stuff. But you are now going to see players, I think, react and overreact to terrible plays to force. Like, had the Bills gone berserk on the sideline, or had that player gotten up and signaled a first down and did this thing, I don't know what the stupid Skelly is. And the Bills ran up to the line, right? Like, if they had simulated a completion and play on, it may have forced the action as opposed to what actually happened. And I don't want that to happen. I want to be clear. I don't want more acting and more shenanigans on the field.
It's almost like the refs are impressionable in game and not following the rule. And when you introduce the vagueness of survivability, which is what you and I were talking about, how long must you quote unquote survive the ground?
Yeah,
Is it
like,
1
okay,
second?
you have
Is it 2 seconds? Is it a beat? Is it a football
we saw,
move? Is like
yes,
what is
we
it?
saw Isaiah Likely make a touchdown reception for the Ravens not about a month ago, catch the ball, take 2 steps in the end zone, and then have it knocked out. And, oh, he didn't survive. What are we doing here?
Well, you don't even have to go that far back. Bills Patriots, it happened again, but in the Bills' favor.
Yes.
When they were vying for the 1 seed, same exact play happened. It just went the Bills' way. But there's too much instability in how they're calling this play. And say what you want about college football and how boring it is and how long the games are, blah blah blah. The officiating in college football is it's very cut and dry, right? Like there's almost never debate on any platform where they're talking about officiating in college
Getting
football.
it wrong,
And I don't understand how college football can figure this out. And then when you get to the pros, it's a big problem.
It's too
right?
vague. This idea of survivability is too vague.
You can't make everybody happy. You have to make your rules very clear and just remove
100%. We saw this. We saw this a decade and a half ago with Megatron catching a ball in the end zone for a touchdown, putting it like literally palming it and putting it down. Like, well, it wasn't a catch. You didn't control it. We saw it with Des Bryant in the playoffs. You know, the Cowboys when they were challenging with Romo under center. If you recall that play against the Packers, that was a catch in the end zone. Didn't count. So, like, this isn't a new problem, but now you're in a
magnified.
It's magnified tremendously now because it continues to be misinterpreted. And I will add to this too. Devontae, he made the catch. I mean, he looked like he got the wind knocked out of him too. If the Bears player, I'm blanking on who it was, if he had picked up the ball, like because he came out of the scrum or whatever, right? And he kind of palmed it. If he had gotten up and started running to the end zone to score, I think that play goes the other way. I think
it very well could have.
It's going to come down to the acting and the flopping and the NBA-ness.
It's exactly. I was just going to say that this is the NFL's version of the flop. But it's more impactful because you can choose.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's 100%. It's coming.
You have to do it. Like as a defender, you have to be coached now.
Problem.
Pick it up and pretend.
Yeah, if you can't decide what a catch is, and it goes further than survivability of the ground and the control and the football move. Like they just keep labeling what the actual issue is. It should just be. No, just look at it like backyard football. If a quarterback throws the receiver the ball and he catches it, it's a catch. I don't understand how it's complicated here.
I'm with you 100% on this.
If he's bobbling it or whatever and then falls to the ground, but the ball doesn't touch the ground, it's a catch, right? Like it makes no sense. If a cornerback is going for an interception, same thing like what we saw in the Rams game, right? If a quarterback's going for an interception. And he bobbles it on his way down, but he turns his back and lands on his back while he's securing the ball. It's never debated if he actually intercepted the ball because he very clearly took the ball and landed with it. It shouldn't be this complicated. When you have people like Richard Sherman and all of these DBs and everybody saying the tie goes to the offense, they screwed the Bills so much. It blows.
And not just, I'm not talking about one game here. I don't think you are either. They are now on a trajectory to rebuild with a new coach.
Yeah, they blew up the franchise. And
had that play gone the other way, we would be looking at them saying they can go into New England and win.
Yes.
Right. So, you know, this is my one hot take for today. There's one AFC team that I think you could have thrown into any matchup, any building last weekend. They didn't even qualify for the playoffs. They could have won in any of those buildings. Who am I talking about? Cincinnati. Right. I firmly believe this. You could have thrown them into any situation, spotted them, spotted their opponent 10 points and said, you have a half to prove yourself, and they still could have pulled it.
They would have put up
good that
They would have put up a better fight than the Texans. They would have put up a better fight
the Texans are
from the Chargers last week.
We'll get to them. But let's keep it on the Bills Broncos. We'll just take them in order. So it was Bills Broncos in the early slot on Saturday. It was 49ers Seahawks in the late slot. Thank you, Tony, for sending in a note here. Happy MLK Day. It was a catch. 100%. The poll we put online was overwhelmingly. It was like 96%. It was a catch. This was a catch through and through. And again, as a Broncos, fanboy every once in a while and a Bo Nix apologist, it was a catch. Like they did not have any business winning that game. But let's talk about that Bills Broncos game. Obviously, it ends 33-30 in overtime. two and a half quarters of very questionable play calling out of the Bills. That was my initial, like they had opportunities to crush and run away. And the plague of the Bills has been, and I'm not talking about the coaching changes that were made after the game. I'm saying throughout the season, the reason they flirted with that top 5 and then fell out and they were in the 10 and then they came back up a little bit and back and forth. You knew Josh Allen could do pretty much anything. Mm-hmm. You knew they could run the ball with consistency, although fumbling has become a problem for Cook. It was always a question of can their passing game sustain? Could they go get 45 through the air when facing a really good defense? And the Broncos are a really good defense. I mean, there's a theme here I think you're going to sense throughout today's show.
Defense.
What did you see? What did you see out of that game? Because in the end, I think we both agree the Bills should have won it. In the end, it doesn't matter now, but they played well enough to win.
It's hard to revisit this game without incorporating what we heard this morning of the firing of McDermott. It's just hard to analyze this game without that factor in, because this was a team all season where they were an 11-12 win team, right? Like they were good. The defense, the defense is regularly a top 10 defense, even with bums. Essentially, they don't really have any blue chip all pro players.
No. Average secondary, average linebackers.
And they put it together where this is a team where all of the mistakes that they make, they're still pushing the Broncos to overtime. They're still pushing a really good defense to overtime. When you have your reigning MVP have 4 turnovers and you're still pushing it to overtime, like that is not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. The problem is they are not doing what they need to do to capitalize their Super Bowl window. And that's happened to them year after year after year, where they retool in in 6th place fantasy football team management ways, where they're sitting on the waiver wire and they're like, oh, well, this guy was good 4.5 seasons ago. Let's go get Brandon Cooks, or let's go get whoever. Or let's go get these random bums and just surround our MVP with it. Like if you take a Howie Roseman and you put it into Buffalo, they win the Super Bowl. If they go out and they get an AJ Brown, or if they did what they were supposed to do at the trade deadline and throw the bank at Waddle and bring him in, nobody beats this team. If they have a Jalen Waddle with Allen, nobody beats this team. If they go get Jacoby Myers instead of the Jaguars, nobody beats this team.
I agree with you, because then you're giving your quarterback a legit option down the field. Aside from, look, they do have 3 stud tight ends. Those tight ends could be starters on any.
That can only do so much for
I know. The tight ends are going to be running the 10-yard routes and getting you 12, 13 consistently. They have one home run threat, although we could argue whether Shakir is a 1-1 like an AJ Brown or a Chase, or if he's like a 1 on that team like a McLaurin. We can argue all those. In the end, the three turnovers out of Allen, and they were bad turnovers. The fumbling is a huge problem, especially the one right at the end of the half. I mean, huge problem.
But when you have to play hero ball, that's just kind of what's
going to happen. Yeah, and I think he was more exposed against a really good defense. I mean, the Broncos defense is elite. We're talking about the Seahawks here in a second too, but they are that good. And in the end, they did enough to win the game. The Broncos did just a little bit more. And I think Sean Payton deserves a tremendous amount of credit, because again, you look at that offense and what he's able to do. They've consistently been able to go get points. They're not going to get 60.
Yeah.
But
they need points. Pretty. Like Bo Nix is not putting up a pretty stat line ever. No. And he's making his own share of mistakes.
Absolutely. But he's a young guy and you expect him to make those mistakes. Allen fumbling, 3 times, and Cook dropping the ball twice. And then on top of that, I think he threw, let's see, let me look. I'm pulling up the box score. How many interceptions did 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Allen, 283 yards. I mean, Cook had 117 on 24 carries. Obviously, Allen added, Josh added another 66. I mean, Kincaid, Shakir, Davis, Knox, Cook. I mean, they were fine, right? But it's just too many turnovers. You think you go get one extra this, one extra that, you win this game. And
Yeah.
in the end, the Broncos,
I mean,
the Broncos did those, right? Bo Nix only.
and they put themselves in a position where it comes down to questionable officiating that tips the scale one way or the other. If they took care of business in the first 3.5 quarters, you don't have this conversation, right? Like and
the Bills defense showed up. I want to be clear too.
They
Bills
did, but the Bills continually put themselves in a position every postseason where they're just a little bit more sloppy than usual, and then it allows for the shaky officiating to influence the game. It happens against the Chiefs all the time. It happened this year. Like
they don't put teams away. They start slow. I mean, we talk about it. We kill the Bengals for starting slow every year. The Bills kind of do it every game. Like they're just
You know, I mean, similar to the Broncos, but it's
similar to the Broncos. You know, but the Broncos. Do you agree with me? The Bills were the better team. I don't want to say it that way. The Bills should have won.
The Bills had more opportunity to win and put it away, and they did not capitalize.
Yes, and
it's a shame because Josh is really that good of a quarterback, and if you give him if you put Josh Allen and the Philadelphia Eagles, that's a 4 Super Bowl in a row dynasty, easily.
I mean, if you put him on the Houston roster,
yes,
how good are they? If you put him in Miami with legit, wide receiver, like what kills me though is they've done this. You know, they went and traded for or signed Diggs and they signed Cooper. Like they need a 1-1. They need a 1-1 wide receiver there. They've got the quarterback, of course. They've got the running back. They've got serviceable tight ends. The defense is,
and that's the play that caused this is going to be like the downfall of the Bills. Like you have a surging Patriots team who, by the way, when we get to that game, like easiest path to the Super Bowl in history.
Oh, come on,
in history, right? From cupcake schedule and on, it's just easiest path to the Super Bowl in history. But the Bills are going to blow up their team while having an MVP caliber quarterback for the and just fast forward to Monday. I'm going to skip over a little bit, but we have to talk about it. McDermott is not a coach that deserves to be fired. He was insane win-loss margins, takes paper clips and spit and MacGyvers their way into playoffs every single year. And I mean, I was getting into this with Razzle. He's like, oh, their defenses suck. No, the defenses never suck. 2021, number 1 overall defense, number 3 and 4 defense in 22-23, top 10 defense regularly. Like, it pains me because we hired Ron Rivera. I'm going to bring this back to the Redskins. You hire Ron Rivera, and you're like, look at the defense he built in Carolina. He's going to turn it around. He's a defensive guy. No, that was McDermott. McDermott was the DC. Very clearly, he was the guy that the architect of that defense.
Well, listen, you brought up Daboll R in the hometown team. Are you not firing Dan Quinn to the moon right now if you can get Sean in here?
No, I don't think that's enough of an upgrade.
Okay.
I know. Listen,
oh my God. Okay.
We're not going to get into it. I'm never going to turn on DQ until I see how season 3 goes. Because listen, we just saw this weekend how hard it is. The
Bills made a decision to let go of their longtime tenured head
we just
coach
saw how hard it is to get to the championship game.
I hear you, FP.
And DQ got to the championship game.
The Bills just made the call to not lose their offensive guy.
But that's the wrong call. You have a GM that built a bad roster.
I'm with you.
Scapegoating the head coach.
Somebody posted it.
That's going to keep in your OC that has been struggling.
You're right.
And then maybe you're going to replace your 11-8 or 11-4 win coach or whatever. And you're going to bring in a 2-14 win coach in Daboll. Come on.
Doesn't McDermott go to the top of the list of available coaches?
Yeah. If I'm the Falcons, I go, damn it. Why did I hire Stefanski last night and not wait
1 day,
18 more hours?
Yes. Although I do like that hire for them.
I mean, it's a fantastic hire for them.
Personally,
but I'm saying, like, if you're Harbaugh and all of a sudden you're looking around, and you're like, wait, hold on.
I could have gone to Buffalo.
I can go to the Giants didn't lock him down yet because it's terrible GM. And
Yeah, I know.
I'm Harbaugh. I'm blowing it up. I'm going to the Bills.
Before we saw what's his face accept the Broncos position and then rescind it and then accept the. Oh no, he took the Broncos. He accepted the Colts position and then ended up not going. Right.
Yeah. You also kind of saw it with Flores where he thought he was going to get hired and
with your boy in Jacksonville, right? He said I'm not coming, and then then he changed his mind. So like things happen, but how wild would that be if Harbaugh ends up now in Buffalo, right? Like, oof.
Listen, if New York hasn't been able to put pen to paper yet because of the dispute over the control that the GM has, if I'm Harbaugh,
good on Harbaugh. Good on Harbaugh. Why would you
agree.
a situation where you're going to be neutered on from the beginning?
Yeah, if you're going to go into a crappy situation, you go into a crappy situation.
I'm just going to flash a couple of these comments in front of you because you're the last person on Dan Quinn Island. Literally, you're the last one. There's so many better coaches available, but I don't want to get into it.
But these are coaches that are getting fired. Why? Because they're not winning playoff games and getting to championship games. There's a reason. There's a reason these coaches are getting fired. I'm just saying.
You're right, but Sean should immediately him and Harbaugh go to the top of everyone's list.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. We're in agreement there. And the Bills did get screwed.
Honestly, McDermott getting fired might cause some of the other teams to be like, we should fire our coach. Like, I don't understand how since he hasn't fired Zach Brown yet, he should go. He should be shot off to the sun and they bring in McDermott. If you put McDermott with Burrow, come on.
Yeah. I mean, the candidate that immediately comes to mind and the rumor mill's already firing on all cylinders is Daboll. Daboll going to Buffalo. Right, like
dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, to me that's a regression, but I understand why it would.
Yes, because Josh Allen became MVP after Daboll left,
and he wasn't very good under Daboll. So there's a couple of different things to factor in. All right. I mean, it sucks for the Bills. The Broncos move on. We would be remiss not to at least touch on the fact that Bo Nix will no longer be available to play quarterback for this team. I mean,
I'm full of a hot take on this one.
Put him in a boot and put him on the field, right?
No, I think the Broncos are a better offense with Jarrett Stidham.
Oh my God. Clip it. You own this.
Hot take it. Hot take that.
I was going to say, put him in a boot and just have him stand there like a statue.
2 seasons ago, Sean Payton benches Russell Wilson, brings in Jarrett Stidham, and says the offense will do better with Jarrett Stidham. He has 100% confidence in Jarrett Stidham, and I don't think he is a bad quarterback.
Fruit and let him roll. I know.
You don't have to do much in this Broncos offense.
Run the ball.
And if you look at Nix's stat line, it's not earth shattering. I think
it's not.
If Jarrett Stidham just doesn't let the moment get too big and he throws up some duck interceptions and just like is scared for his life, I think they might be better.
Look, I mean, we're not. We still have to talk about the Patriots, but obviously, if the Patriots come out and they're doing what they do and scoring 20 and a half, the Broncos are toast.
Yeah, but the Patriots are also they have a huge fumbling problem themselves with Drake May.
I understand, but
problem.
Ramondre and Travion should each touch the ball 20 times. That should be the game plan.
Yeah.
We're just gonna run it until the Broncos say, mercy. Like they just can't. They can't.
But that Broncos defense,
it's very good.
So
is the Patriots defense though. Like who can?
But I mean, you saw the Texans defense. If they didn't have to fight against 5 turnovers,
yes, I'm following.
They were still a possession away from winning that game. So that's not a good look on the Patriots.
I'm with you. I mean, I think anytime you lose the quarterback who's been playing, calling the plays all season, FP, you're gonna regress. I don't hate your take.
I would also the second hot take is if I'm Sean Payton, Drew Brees come out of retirement for 2 games and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Are you telling me right now Drew Brees can come in right now and win 2 games and get a Super Bowl?
He could do it. He wouldn't lose the games.
Easily. He could easily do it.
Yeah. I mean, if Phillip Rivers was able to.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Drew Brees is probably in better shape.
Aaron Rodgers is still doing what
Stronger arm.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think we talked about Tomlin getting self ejecting from his role.
No, it happened after last show.
Yeah. That's an interesting.
You look at McDermott.
Well, I think McDermott, like I said, I think he goes to the top of.
I think he goes to the Ravens. I think he's just gonna literally plug and play Lamar for Josh.
Is that not the best seat available right now? Outside of, I mean, I still think New York is amazing personally, but like it's one of those things where I think
Well, here's the thing, right? McDermott is defensive-minded coach. He puts his staple on that defense. The Ravens' problem was the defense kind of got punctured with holes when they lost Mike McDonald. So if you bring in McDermott, you put him on that team, he shores up the defense, and you just have him not be stupid the way Harbaugh was stupid about utilizing Lamar and Derrick Henry together. He's already proven he can make your offense click with paperclip and spit, so he can do it with Zay Flowers and two really good tight ends. But I'm saying it's almost a seamless insert for the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, FP. Let's keep it moving here. We'll go to the Seahawks 49ers. I don't have much to say. Exactly. I don't have much to say about this one except the Seahawks. They remind me so much of the Legion of Boom in that team from Russell Wilson back in the day was basically told, don't make any mistakes. Darnold didn't make any mistakes. They ran the ball a billion times with their stud workhorse Marshawn
They didn't
Lynch.
even need to use JSN.
They would occasionally throw to, I think it was Golden on one side and Baldwin on the other, or whoever it was back then. This team is so reminiscent of that. And we said last week, the only way the Seahawks lose this game to the 49ers is if Darnold comes out and Darnold's it up, right? But congrats to him getting his first playoff win. He looked fine. I mean, he didn't need to do anything. He literally didn't need to do anything.
He might be the first QB in that 2018 draft class to make it to the Super Bowl and win. Think about that draft class. Baker, Tua, Josh, Lamar, right? That's
I mean, he's
the
on
whole
that.
draft class.
Yeah, he's on that.
And Darnold's going to be the one that goes further than all of them. That's crazy.
I mean, he completed 12 passes for 120 yards. Like, he did nothing. Okay. He literally did nothing. And
yeah, but that's because they put a team around him where he doesn't have to be the guy.
No, listen, I agree with you. I mean,
but also I hate Seattle.
Yeah, listen. Well, Skins fans, we all hate Seattle.
No. Like, it's not even Skins fans. Like, they retooled from the Russell Wilson era so fast. Like, they had all the players you just named.
Doesn't Pete Carroll deserve a little bit of credit, though?
Plus, yeah.
I mean, doesn't he deserve, like, Seattle made the decision in the last offseason to be like, we're parting ways with our dinosaur.
Right. But he deserves credit because he left them with,
a lot of pieces,
an actual core.
But they also got the right coach in there, right? Like,
yes,
McDonald is the right personality and temperament for that defense in particular. And he's allowed the offense to just kind of flourish and not make, like, their entire offense is predicated on don't make mistakes.
Now, it'll be interesting if his OC goes somewhere, because then you come into the whole dispute that we had with Dan Quinn when he was initially hired, is you have a defensive coach. You're going to lose your OC if you do well. You have to find a whole new system that comes in or promote from within. It's shaky. It's shaky grounds. But, he's not a CEO coach like DQ has become. He's still on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, I'm fine. I forgot to ask you this. I had put a chat out or a comment out in the offline chat. Is Josh Allen Dan Marino?
Ooh. I can
at least until he wins. At least until he wins it, right? I mean, he is that good. He's the league MVP. He does everything right. He's the best player by a mile on his team and in his conference and in the league. He just can't get beyond. Like, he can't get to the big game. I don't know if Marino actually made it to a Super Bowl and lost. I'd have to go back and check. But
I'm trying to think about who else you could relate him to. My brain is telling me it's similar to maybe like a Joe Montana, and he needs like a change of scenery, but that's more of like a Joe Burrow situation.
Sure, but Montana eventually got through it and won. McNabb eventually McNabb, I think, became a Super Bowl champ. No, did McNabb
never won.
So McNabb might be a more recent comp, right? Like, just stud, can't be like, he makes all the right plays. But
McNabb was poo poo. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Dan Marino to me immediately popped in my mind. Like, I see him, and I felt terrible for Josh, like crying at the post game, and the teammates are all crying, and he didn't let us down, and maybe the coach had some indication he was going to get canned. I don't know. I didn't mean to pivot back on you, but I wanted to get your thoughts on that. To me, it's starting to feel Dan Marino-ish.
Yeah, I can see that. He's too good and not getting to the show.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep it moving. Texans-Patriots was the early game on Sunday. This one ends with the Patriots winning 28-16 this for long stretches of this game, it was a 1-possession game, but it was never close. That was my assessment from the beginning. The Texans looked non-competitive. They looked like they were 2 weight classes below the Patriots, and the Patriots themselves didn't really play a complete game either. But this was basically over at halftime, in my opinion. Just looking at how the Texans were playing, they got quarterback problem. That's what my eyeballs tell me. They got a quarterback problem.
I think D'Amico did a huge.
Oh, say it.
Huge mistake by not benching CJ. He should have put in Mills. He should have
wanted my guy to come in and just he couldn't have played worse. I mean,
what's the worry that happened? But first of all, I don't even know if Davis Mills was active. He may have been injured, which if that's the case, then whatever. But yeah, CJ. The thing with CJ Stroud is his rookie season, and I'll be the first to make this relation. His rookie season, he was really, really well. And then there's a huge decline, and there's another decline. I'm not going to relate it to Jaden Daniels because I still think Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback. I still think Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback.
Okay.
But something changed with CJ Stroud. And I don't know what it is.
Body language, his confidence when he realized that his backup could play this position just as good.
Maybe. Or it could be that the Texans were stupid and gave away Laramie Tunsil and gave no O-line protection to CJ Stroud
and decided to roll the dice and not upgrade the wide receiver room. And
they should have kept Diggs. Like there's so many things that they could have done right that they did wrong. Not having Nico wasn't good. Losing Dalton wasn't good. Like it was this cards are stacked against them.
Absolutely. Yes.
But that defense is so elite that they almost masked all of that and all of the turnovers and kept this team in it.
That's what you kept telling me. But at some point, the offense has to go get points. They only managed 16. They managed under 60 yards total rushing in the game as well. They lost the time of possession basically 2-1. And CJ ends up, with way below 50% passing, 42% completion rate on his passing, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 picks, 3 sacks. Just bad.
I'm out on CJ Stroud because before the season started, he was all over the Brosphere podcasts talking about like the best 5 QBs in the league, and he was putting himself up there.
I mean, I remember. Yes, for sure.
Like, come on, like he's like me, Jack, and Josh and Lamar. Like, come on, bro. Like if Jaden did something like that, I would be scorching him. I'm like, you're not allowed to talk like that. You've done nothing to be able to say you are top 5 easily. Like it's. I don't know. There's a disconnect between his mental and his body and his execution. And D'Amico, I don't know how he figures it out, but yeah, they have a $250 million problem on the horizon.
They do. I can see them. I mean, the Texans and the Dolphins should really speak, right? Like maybe both of their guys do better with a change of scenery. Maybe
like literally just a flip flop.
Just flip them, like because you know what you got with both of them.
Not helping anybody.
I mean, listen. You're not wrong, I guess. Yeah, maybe not.
CJ, if you give him a different team and the weapons around him, and you actually give him an O-line, he could.
Yeah. You brought up Dak. I want to talk about Dak for just a second, right? Because I made my my semi hot take right about the Bengals. Just drop them in anywhere and say you have to beat this team, and you got a 10-point hole. I feel like the Cowboys are the NFC version of that, and it pains me to say it, but that offense is so good. You could have put them anywhere, and
if they replace the Niners, 40. It's a much better game.
Oh, I think they win. I think they win.
I mean, that defense is.
I know, but Pickens on one side and Blam on the other, and a running game that wasn't terrible. And Dak, I mean, hold on. Dak had an actual MVP caliber season, just he's not going to be considered.
Forgotten. Yeah,
it's completely forgotten. It's his best statistical season, and he deserves it. Like they were that good offensively.
Yeah, and none of the issues were Dak's. Like none of the losses were Dak's fault ever. All season.
No, he didn't have the midseason slump or the breakdown. It's just
I think
playoffs just so unique in that regard.
I think what we need, what that's leading me into is I think the NFL has another problem on their hand. They got to change the playoff seeding format. The 7th seed always does nothing. Go bring in like if there's a better record that didn't make it in because of division standings, they should get the 7th seed. You got to change how it is because some of those matchups are terrible. And if you put in a strong
or give
non-division winning team,
or make it go back to the wild, go back to a play-in game where 7 and 8 are going to play for 7.
Yeah,
everybody gets a week off, and if you're the top seed, you get 2 weeks off. Right? I mean, does it change the game that much? I mean, that would change.
The Seahawks essentially got 2 weeks off playing a fake 49ers team.
Yeah, but I agree. I don't think you can actually send them home for 2 weeks and then expect them to come out and play. I think actually at that point the 1 seeds are at a disadvantage because you're 2 weeks removed from. Fair. But they do have to find a way to fix this. Like the old system was not bad with the 1 and 2, and I understand why they went to the super wild card format. And in years past, I think the 7 seeds have been more competitive. Am I wrong?
I think since the 7th seed has been introduced, I think they're like 1 for 8 in playoff games.
I'll go back and check that before next week. That would be an interesting.
Pretty sure it's a terrible record.
The problem is though, if you turn that first one into a playoff, or like maybe you scrap the last week of the season. I don't know.
I don't know. Or if you're going to introduce an 18 game season, then you have to adjust what you do in the playoffs and introduce like a second bye week regular season so that I don't know. They got to change something because the current format,
the last game of the season, if it's inconsequential, gets not played, right? Like I don't know. They got to find a way to make it so that you're getting the best team. Because again, in the end, I still think you could take the Bengals right now, put them in Foxborough next week, or put them in Denver, and they could win the game.
Yeah, even with their crap ass defense. Yes,
and I think you could put Dallas right now in any building in the league, and they would be able to get 40 points and potentially win the game as well, including in Seattle.
Yeah,
that's my
yeah. I don't really disagree with that. I mean, but then again, since we're on Patriots Texans, softest road to the Super Bowl. Think about what they had.
Is it their fault?
It's not their fault, and that's what I was just going to say.
Can it be held against them? You can state it as a fact, and I don't.
But what I was going to say is like the 7th seed making it to the 7th seed. It's not their fault they got into the 7th seed, right? It's not like that's just how the NFL is structured. So all of these crappy 7th seed teams that flame out in the playoffs, okay, that's not necessarily their fault they got the spot. It's everybody else's fault that they couldn't get one win better than a 7th seed. But when you look at the Patriots, cupcake schedule, easiest of all time schedule. And then they get Justin Herbert with no offensive line, right? And then they get, what was the next game? It
was Herbert, and then last week
Texans with nobody, and then they're going to get the Broncos without their starting QB. Like, come on. And then maybe they like this might be the first time ever where I'm looking at the 2 NFC teams, and I'm like, they're going to run away with the Super Bowl once they make it in because Patriots Broncos doesn't really scare. Does that really scare the Seahawks? Absolutely not.
No.
Does it scare the Rams? The Rams are so evenly stacked. It'll be a good game, but I think the Rams have the edge.
I mean, where we are right now, based on the 4 teams remaining, or even if you go back, you got to say the NFC is most likely going to win this thing, right? In the end,
yeah,
they're just too good. The Bills and Josh Allen were good enough to make any game interesting. I don't see how the Broncos make. I don't see how they hang with Seattle. I don't see how they hang with the Rams. I just don't see it. Maybe the Patriots. The Patriots should beat the Broncos.
Beat the Broncos, and that would probably make for a better Super Bowl.
Yeah, they are the better representative of the AFC. Yeah. All things considered, they can run the ball. Diggs and Booty are good receivers and can make interesting grabs and make things like the Patriots. I'm not going to challenge you or push back too hard on Super Cupcake schedule because it's I can't really argue.
When you look at
played well.
When you look at the Patriots as a whole, you look at the defense, you look at the weapons, you look at the run game, you look at the O-line, look at the D-line. What's the weakest part of that team? At least in the playoffs, it's Drake May.
It's been the quarterback play, yeah.
But
he's also a second-year guy.
He's had a great season. He's doing great things. But like, he's not MVP over Stafford. No,
he's not.
He's not.
But I think for a second-year player, you got to look at him and say, guy's got an incredibly bright future.
Absolutely,
he can make every pass on the. He can make every throw on the field.
They're in a better position.
and he's not prone to errors, right? I mean, that's
or injury.
Or injury.
If Nix is fracturing an ankle by taking a knee,
I mean, he got rolled up on it. I think it's unfair. It's tough though. It's tough to lose your guy in that circumstance.
I feel bad for him, but also I've never been high on Nix.
He's not your guy. Last game of the weekend, FP, was the Rams and the Bears. This was easily for me the game, right? This was the one we had penciled. This is the one we wanted to see. This was the one you were ready to kill Caleb on because he doesn't belong, and all the things that come with the Bears universe or Bears kingdom or whatever. It ends up going to overtime as Caleb makes a Maryland Hail Mary, Maryland Miracle-esque throw to end, basically to end regulation. I mean, what an incredible fourth and four play to basically force overtime. Were you smiling when it happened?
I was.
Be honest.
I was jaw dropped, floored at what I just saw.
Is Jaden?
It goes in the record books as like a 14-yard touchdown pass, but he dropped back 20 more yards.
He dropped back to the 4. I went and watched it like 10 times. He dropped back to the 40 and he threw it basically 8 yards deep into the end zone on a,
it's insane.
Very Jaden-esque in the Maryland Miracle.
Yeah, I put it in the chat yesterday. The football gods overcorrected.
That was a great line. Yeah.
For the Noah's Ark football miracle of that Hail Mary. They overcorrected. But you know what? Like, removing Caleb from in that play, right? Mm-hmm. Ben Johnson lost that game for them. No. Listen.
We're going to go back where we were last week.
No. After that play, after that miracle touchdown, you go for 2. You have all the momentum in the world. You go for 2.
You got big stones.
You go for 2. No. The whole reason the Lions were the Lions when he was there was the aggression.
The Lions also aren't playing anymore. Like because
the guy, the architect of all of that insanity, came to Chicago. And if you're a Chicago fan, you're like, we got Ben Johnson. We got the guy that's going to coach to win. We got the guy that's going to take us to the Super Bowl. We got the guy with the balls big enough to go for 2 to get us to the championship game. And he coached himself into a base level coach, level-headed, play for overtime. That's not his MO. That's not what the Bears are. The Bears have always been like cutthroat. Like, we got the miracle, go for the win, and steal it. And that's what they did all season long. And in the biggest game of the season, he kicks the extra point and goes for overtime. He cost them that game. They had all the momentum in the world. Are you telling me that a defense after that touchdown has the heart and the will to go against a ramped up offense that's just gonna
Monogany and Swift didn't particularly have like amazing games. I mean,
but that is the moment in the game where that O-line, where those running backs, where everybody were just going to murder anybody in front of them to get into that end zone.
Yeah, I mean, they were spent. It was
you should have went for 2.
I mean, we would be killing him right now, though. Like, that's the truth.
I would rather, if you're going to lose one way or the other, I would rather lose.
Well, I don't think he knew he was going to lose. I think he said, I just tied the game. I now go into overtime with the alternate rules. I'm going to at least touch the ball once. I can,
Against the comeback king in Matthew Stafford.
Well, the comeback king in Matthew Stafford has historically played very poorly in the cold. And very poorly in that building. Like, he's not Aaron Rodgers.
He played well.
He played fine. Maybe 254 yards, but no touchdowns, no picks. I mean, so I don't know about well. He played good, right? I mean, no touchdowns. Puka I think had 4 catches on the day. Like, it wasn't a great offensive showing from either team. I want to just say that Caleb deserves a monicum of respect out of everybody for being able to make some really tough passes down the stretch. Now, the pick was brutal, right?
Pick was brutal, but that's also not on Caleb.
I agree with you.
That's on DJ Moore, and he was in concussion protocol, and they found a way to put him back on the field.
I think we know how they found a way to do it, but you called it immediately. Why is he even out there, right? Why is he out there jogging?
He was jogging.
Yeah, I mean, but we I think last week I said like the Bears win as long as there's no interceptions. Right. And
Caleb has listen, you look at like I don't like the Jaden Daniels and Caleb forced comparison that the NFL is pushing down everyone's throat. But you look at Caleb's last 2 playoff games, yesterday and the week before, combined, terrible stat lines. He did nothing for the team. He has magical, miracle, one-off, crazy passes.
I mean, 257 and 2. I mean, the 3 picks hurt.
It's not, if you combine both games, it wasn't a good stat line.
It was fun to watch them though play in the cold. It was great to see Chicago
host a game
of significance. It was, I mean, the Rams, that was a tough out for them, to go into Chicago in terrible conditions and win. I mean, McVay looked like he was on the salts, basically start to finish with the crazy eyeballs and the burnt red skin. I mean, he was in some rare form too. I think the better team won in the end. I think the Rams are deserving to move forward, and our Final Four is set. Like championship matchups are now set. I think we're both on the Patriots. We don't have to talk about that one anymore. But on the NFC side, who's going to win this game in Seattle?
If it's going to be like the crazy Thursday night game where they went for who gets the first seed and the overtime thriller, and if that's what we're getting next weekend, sign me up. Sign me all the way up. I cannot wait to see how that game is. And like this whole weekend, and this is gonna kind of take us into this coaching carousel for a second. The whole weekend wasn't necessarily focused on the players, right? Like in the Brady and the Manning and the Aaron Rodgers and the Pat Mahomes era, it was always you look at like the stars on the field, and that was sort of the matchups that you're looking for. This weekend or these playoffs, it was all about coaching matchups, right?
Yeah, like you're right.
Shanahan versus Sirianni, is that real? Or Shanahan versus Vic Fangio, that's the matchup, right? Daboll versus D'Amico. You have Ben Johnson versus McVay. You have McDonald versus whoever. Like the coaching matchup is the storyline here. And when you come into next weekend, right? Defensive guru Mike McDonald versus offensive guru McVay.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see that chess match, right? On the AFC side, it's defense versus defense, but...
Well, I mean, Sean Payton is a talented offensive play caller.
Yes, and Josh McDaniels knows how to get the most out of his offense as an OC, but...
And Vrabel tends to lean more defense, right? So you're still getting... I love your point there. It's just interesting to me that you look at, the Super Bowl's being played in San Francisco. It's the NFC West is so well represented in these playoffs, right? Like it is, and both of those teams are at an advantage going into their, opponent into Super Bowl week, knowing that stadium, knowing the building, they play there,
having no commute.
It's true too. I mean that's part of it as well. So I mean, yeah, you're right. Actually, they're both pretty much equidistant. So I think there's a huge advantage on the NFC side. I think I want to see the Rams move on here, right?
You gotta want Stafford to have another one.
I think he's done too. I think if he wins, I think it's as a our team for him. I think it's amazing, right? It also puts McVay into a position where he's got to make a decision. He almost retired after the first one, if you remember. Like he was actually considering walking away. It puts McVay in a position where he's going to have to trade for another quarterback, right? Or draft one. And then we're going to really see what he's made of, assuming he sticks around. But obviously the Skins play in the NFC. Like losing Stafford and the Rams as, long-term competition, I'm not opposed to that, right? But I think Matt is also deserving of another win and go. Seattle and Darnold, great story. Maybe just not yet. I think that's kind of where my heart is. Like, just not yet. Like,
it's because it's Seattle.
I know. I hate Seattle. Like, 2006, 2012, 2014. It's all PTSD, varying degrees of PTSD. But either way, it's going to be great. I mean, the AFC game is the early one. That one probably does worse in the ratings, but I think it's all eyes
on those.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about this coaching carousel, and then we'll get out of here. Well, where do you want to start? I mean, Tomlin got relieved himself of duty right after we signed off last week. So Pittsburgh's job is open. You mentioned it already. Stefanski's on his way to Atlanta. The Bills' job is now open. Harbaugh is close, but not done with, signing on to the Giants. And I do like that hire for them.
It's a great hire for them if they figure out that the GM sucks.
Yes. Your boy Mikey's on his way, or he's in Actually, as we're recording this, he's interviewing for the Tennessee job. Vegas doesn't seem to have anybody on their radar yet. It seems like they're just not kind of doing anything or not.
They're probably going to be offensive coordinator, like a Kubiak type situation.
Possibly. Arizona hasn't done anything that I'm aware of either. So like there's some spots open here.
Yeah. And there's some DCs out there for the Skins that are still available. I think we interviewed Flores, we interviewed Gannon. Both of those aren't terrible. Obviously, you want Flores over Gannon, but Gannon wasn't necessarily bad when he was DC for Philly.
Baltimore was interviewing for a head coach and offensive coordinator at the same time. Found that to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't that? Doesn't make sense to me, but okay. I mean, it's Baltimore hasn't done this very often, right? Pittsburgh hasn't done this at all. So like, there's some of these teams are potentially going to get it wrong.
I mean, it's a third of the teams looking for head coaches. Yes. This season took the record, right? The record was 2022. There was 10 vacancies. This season, there's 11 vacancies. Like it's unheard of.
There's so many openings right now. It's tough. This is tough, and there's some good spots and there's some less than good spots. But I mean, the Bills have to go to the top of the list of available. Bills and Baltimore to me are
they're essentially the same team.
I would lean slightly personally towards Baltimore because you got the running back. Like you have the running back. I guess Buffalo has it too.
Cook has the leading. He was rushing leader this year.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Over Henry.
Like vision is stronger, you know.
No, that's what it comes down to. If you're a head coach and you're looking at the teams available, it's like, do you want to go against the AFC North where the Browns aren't going to figure it out, right? And they have a coaching vacancy as well, and no quarterback. Cincy should have a coaching vacancy, but they didn't fire him.
Can't figure it out,
right? And Burrow's like one more shitty season away from pulling Andrew Luck and retiring. The Steelers aren't going to figure out, and they don't have a quarterback. So AFC North is probably the better division to go to because, sure, the AFC East has the Jets and the Dolphins. Dolphins could turn it around with the right coach.
Dolphins almost did turn it around.
Yeah, they can turn it around. But then it's just going to be, do you want to be in a constant powerhouse struggle, even though you have an MVP quarterback? Do you want to keep going against the Patriots?
Did you see, by the way, that Darren Waller was sitting in his did you see this clip? Darren Waller was sitting in Miami in the conference room with at the time Coach Mikey. They were doing their post-season like exit interview, whatever. He was telling him, I want you back next year. We're going to do some things to cater and run some stuff for you. The owner walked in. Do you know about this? The owner and the GM walked in and said, just basically pleasantries, and then kind of then Coach Mikey gave Darren the look and said, get out of here. Like, they clearly want to talk to me.
I'm about to get fired.
He went down to go get massaged or whatever. And on the table, he finds out, coach has been relieved. He's being walked out. He's being walked.
Hey, it's better than being fired over the phone like Harbaugh.
That's true. I mean, you can't. I mean, the guy's been there 18 years. You can't bring him in to dinner. Like, find some way to do it. I think the Steelers and the Ravens. If you flip flop the last game of the season, I think Tomlin gets. I think you end up in the same spot. Both teams have open coaching vacancies. They both just ready to move on.
Tomlin's saving face and making it that he stepped away instead of getting fired, even though we know that's not the case. Okay,
but it might have been FP because they did qualify for the playoffs, and he was instrumental in getting Aaron there. And Aaron seemed to be legitimately surprised and upset and crying over it. So
the debate is who's the more shocking firing? Is it McDermott? Is it Tomlin? Is it Harbaugh? Because all things considered, they were powerhouses in the AFC for the last 10 years.
It's Buffalo. It's Buffalo because this like. He's getting fired over a referee's mistake. Like you can say what you want about the other two.
Every playoff heartbreak, it wasn't McDermott's fault.
Nope. He's kept that team together. He's kept it competitive. He's kept that defense.
I was telling Razzle, I don't think a lot of people remember how irrelevant the Bills were.
That division,
yes, McDermott.
Yes.
Like the shittiest of the shittiest teams in the 2000s for the Redskins. If the Bills are on the schedule, we could at least look to them and be like, well, there's a win.
Yes.
Until McDermott came in and until Josh Allen came in.
Tightened it up. Absolutely. I'm with you.
He completely changed that franchise, and now they're going to change it again because
now he's looking for.
But the question is, like, why are all of these NFL executives and teams and front offices like just being quick on the trigger with firing these really good coaches. And I understand that, like,
I don't think they want to lose. I don't think they want to lose the talent that's in the room. I think
I know, and I was going to say the McVay of it all is what's changing the landscape of the NFL, because everyone's like, we got to get younger, we got to get smarter, we got to be cutting edge, we got to be, but like, there's something to be said about that coach,
which is why I you don't have to say it. I'm just going to cut you off. That's why I'm out on DQ, because he's neither. He's not the old wise guy in the room. He's the dad with the baseball cap trying to bro.
No, you have to look at DQ. You have to look at DQ's resume.
Yeah, he lost the Super Bowl with a 3-possession lead.
Is it his fault? Is he the offensive coordinator?
Is
it not Kyle Shanahan?
What? Come on, you're not making this call right now.
Kyle Shanahan consistently lost.
This is your worst take ever.
Did Kyle Shanahan
Atlanta lost the Super Bowl because of Kyle Shanahan?
Yes.
Not the defense that allowed 35 points in the second half?
No, it's the offense that decided that they didn't know how to run anymore or target Julio Jones.
I promise I wasn't going to yell at you, but this is honestly, this is your slowest.
You know what?
This is
I'll tell you this. Go watch.
I'm not doing anything.
Go watch the Super Bowl highlight and go see how the Falcons offense completely fell apart.
Okay, so your argument, just so I'm clear, your in asinine argument is the Falcons having a 28-3 lead lost the Super Bowl because they couldn't score 28 points in the second half.
No, because they were
Not
playing.
That they gave up 35
because they went vanilla offense and stopped doing anything worth anything. They just stopped being a good offense. Right, they went vanilla play calling, and that's what Kyle Shanahan does in San Francisco year in and year out. I'm surprised Kyle Shanahan hasn't been fired from San Francisco.
34 to 20.
If McDermott's going to get fired, Kyle Shanahan should have been fired first. I'll put it that way.
You're too intelligent for this argument. Honestly, this is a terrible take.
Look at the San Francisco 49ers.
We're not talking about the 49ers. I'm talking about the Falcons and Dan Quinn, the head coach who had Shanahan, as I understand Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. They had a 28-3 lead. You are now telling me that the reason they lost the game is because they didn't score any additional points.
That offense went
they gave up 34.
That offense went vanilla, and that New England defense.
So Kyle's at fault for not continuing to score points. Dan Quinn is not at fault for not being able to stop them from scoring 34.5.
They couldn't maintain. Think about what is needed for a Patriots offense to be able to score that many points and a half. What is needed? They need the offense to be on the
AI
field.
clips this. You're going to go viral for all the wrong reasons now.
Can you just think about this logically for a second?
Bad.
If you're if you're up 28-3, okay?
Yes.
For the New England offense and Tom Brady to be on the field so many times in the second half to score 4 touchdowns and take the win.
Yes.
That means the defense was putting them on the field at least 4 extra times than normal, which means the offense of Kyle Shanahan sputtered, didn't run the ball, couldn't maintain drives, couldn't do anything, and kept getting off of the field.
Yes. So again, I ask you, the offense managed 28 points in the first half. The defense gave up 3. The second half, the defense gave up 34.
The offense completely. I need you to watch the game. The offense completely flipped.
I promise you, I'm not going to watch the game again.
Just listen to me. The offense completely flipped after halftime. They were not maintaining drives. They were not getting.
Kyle gave it away. Kyle just gave it away.
And it has translated into how Kyle is with the San Francisco 49ers, where year after year after year, when they get to the playoffs and they have the stronger team, they are not winning the games because Kyle gets in his own head and the offense stalls. That is what happens to the Niners. Bring in 20. The offense stalls every single time with the Niners. And they have very strong defenses. But the offense under Kyle Shanahan stalls.
I'm going to maintain this is your worst take ever. In 368 episodes, this is your worst take.
I'm just saying You have a head coach that got you to the championship game with terrible roster. He still won 2 playoff games. And you have coaches now with better rosters that cannot win playoff games that got fired.
That I agree with. The Falcons also did hire Stefanski, and I think they brought in Matt Ryan to be
he's the president.
Ops, or he's doing something for them too. So that'll be interesting to see. I want to talk just quickly here. The Skins, we talked about, David getting promoted, right? Coming up to be the OC. He did go out and hire his buddy from Purdue, which you were baiting me to try to be upset about, which I was not upset about. However, I was really upset about the DJ Williams hire coming from the Falcons. Mainly because his dad works for the organization, and it just feels like this guy's not qualified to be coaching JD5, given that he didn't necessarily do anything for Kirk, and he certainly didn't do anything for Penix in Atlanta. What are his qualifications to be coaching
Kirk
quarterbacks?
Good down the stretch last season. He looked better.
Okay. Well, Doug Williams,
when you have a player like Kirk, what do you need to really?
This is my point. Doug Williams' kid, DJ, has been a quarterback's coach for an eternity. Never moved up. Can't be that good of a coach, FP.
What makes you say that?
Which other? I mean, David Blough went from quarterback's coach to assistant offensive whatever to offensive whatever in
we're looking at all of these teams right now that are firing coaches for no reason to retain in-house talent, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Atlanta is firing a guy that they are saying he's not critical to our long-term success. Indeed, Coach DJ Williams.
I need you to I need you to understand how.
Also, hold on. Also has no connection to DB at all. Has no connection to David Blough at all. Nothing.
Okay. So
the only connection.
Why do you need a connection?
Well, the only connection is that his dad.
Do you know what an assistant? Do you know what an assistant quarterback coach does?
I know what his dad means to the franchise, and this feels like a lot like, "Hey, Daddy, I need a job."
I'll put it this way: why is nepotism in the NFL viewed negatively? How many nepo baby coaches have we seen show up and do a good job because they've been around the game of football?
His dad is not a coach. His dad is a team executive.
Okay. But he's been around football forever, right?
And he's never been promoted beyond.
His dad is a Super Bowl winning coach, so he knows football. He played football.
No. I don't buy that argument at all. His dad won a Super Bowl 40 years ago.
Okay.
And he's not famous for winning a Super Bowl. He's famous for being the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Okay. Let's put it this way. Baby Schottenheimer gets the head coaching job for Dallas Cowboys. What did he do before that? Did he do it bad? You just were on record this episode saying that offense looked amazing.
His dad was a coach. And his dad was a coach. Their dad, they were in. It's a totally different thing. Doug Williams has never been a coach. Doug Williams is a team executive.
Okay. I don't understand. They're around football forever.
Are you okay with this hire? You think he's the answer to unlocking JD5's potential?
I think you are putting too much emphasis on what an assistant quarterback coach does, that it has such huge impacts on your starting quarterback.
So I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, and the fact that his dad is an executive for the team and likely was pressed to hire his kid to a staff that's being built on the fly, where no one on the staff has any connection to him, and he was being let go by his former team. It's all circumstantial. Doesn't matter.
Yes, because it's the assistant quarterback coach, Joe. The assistant quarterback coach. Tell me what they do. I'll give you $100 right now if you tell me what they do.
I don't care what they do. Last week,
what an assistant quarterback coach.
I don't want.
Quarterback coach sits and he watches film. And he's like, "Do you see how that guy shimmied his left foot? That means he's about to blitz. Do you see the way that you're holding the ball? You should change it this way, and it might help you better in the wind. Do you see how that guy blinks 4 times before he crashes to the left? Pay attention to that when you're in the game. That's all he does. This is not. He's not telling Jaden Daniels. He's not explaining to Jaden Daniels what the playbook is. He's not explaining to him how to read defenses. Okay, that's not what he does.
I will, for the sake of this argument, I will accept your definition. He has been so mediocre at his job that no one has ever considered him for anything beyond that job.
Who said he was mediocre?
The team that's letting him go. The team that's letting him go. After
find me an article that says he's mediocre.
He was hired by the Falcons.
Did the team say we're firing him, or did Washington come out and say, guess who we stole from Atlanta? Guess who we hired? Find me a presser. Find me a presser that says Atlanta is firing DJ Williams, the assistant QB coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay,
find me that presser. And find me something where nobody says anything good about him.
Okay. He was hired by the Falcons to coach up Penix, and 2 years later, they're letting him walk. So, okay.
No, I mean, he was also on the Saints and got the most you've ever seen out of Carr. And they had a top 10 offense. And
you can make my point for me. Carr's the best quarterback he's ever worked with.
Carr wasn't bad under the Saints. They were a top 10 offense.
Why he wasn't? Come on, man. Come on. It was like alternate parallel universe day. Like, what is this?
Don't come at. I'm facts guy. Don't come at me with your emotions and don't back it up.
Okay, facts guy.
Just razzle on the offline chat. Shitty offense or shitty defense for the Bills. I murdered him right then and there. And Chat GPT'd it. Guess who was right? FP was right.
The double machetes. I know. Okay. Just calm down. Calm down. You're bouncing in your seat like RFK.
Mountain out of molehill. You have McDermott and Harbaugh and Tomlin and all of these coaches getting fired, and you want to sit here and boo-hoo me about the assistant quarterback coach? Come on, Joe. Come on.
Well, I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous.
Nepotism in the building. His dad works for the team. He has no connection to the current OC, and his dad probably said, "Hey, why don't you take a look at my son?"
Do you know how old Brian Schottenheimer was when his dad was a coach?
I know, 1 billion.
5. He was 5 years old. Who cares?
All right.
Nepo babies are all over the NFL.
Take a breath. You're bouncing all over. You got the bounce seats. Okay, just relax.
I thought you were going to bring up how beautiful the stadium looks, the renderings of RFK2, the neoclassical column design.
You were on it from the beginning. You broke the story in the chat, and you were all about it. My only question was the field orientation. And it is pretty cool that they basically left the field exactly in the same orientation that it was at the legacy RFK.
They copied RFK and
then incorporated it. It does look amazing. Like, I have yet to find anybody say anything negative about the design. The renders look awesome for the new RFK.
That might be the most universally liked and approved Washington Redskins related piece of media we've 100%. Seen since the headline Dan Snyder is selling the team.
Yes. Also 100% around, like, everybody agrees, regardless of political affiliation, the current president should have no name attachment to the building in any kind. Like,
agreed. Like, and it has nothing to do with what way you look. I just give me peace. Give me 20 years of peace where there isn't random political charged debate.
What do you make of it is slightly larger, I think, than what we were anticipating. And personally, I really wanted them to keep it around like 55 or 60,000 people, maybe even at 50. It looks like it's going to come in a little bit larger than that. And they're promoting this bouncy seats.
I love that
section. I'm not exactly sure if I like it or hate it. Like, I like the idea of being able to bounce in my seat, but I also would need the ability to turn it off if I just want to sit.
I think it's going to be specific sections will have different types of seats. Right. And I think they're like, this is a la the LA Clippers in their new stadium.
Right.
There's going to be like a super fan section. And I think that's probably what's going to have the bouncy seat section. And you have to go out of your way to buy a ticket for that section.
I think if they do it that way, or even if they hold a special set of seats, like, for example, if they took the first 2 rows around the entire lower bowl or 3 rows and made them all
those are the bouncies. Yeah.
Right. And at any season
you're tapping into RFK.
Yeah, well, I mean, but RFK was shaking because it was constructed out of tinfoil.
Yes. But it was something that the DC fan base took pride in, was how RFK would shake.
I'm with you. I'm interested to see how that one plays out and how many people actually sign up for it. I would also be interested to see if they could somehow turn them on and off, right? So you can make any seat a bouncy seat, right? But again, I don't know what the benefit would be if I want to sit to have a bouncy seat.
I don't think it's going to be something like that where it's toggle. I think it's just going to be book the bouncy seat, don't book the bouncy seat,
or like a section of the bleachers or the section of the stadium that has just a little more flex under the seat. Maybe. So when people stand up and jump, you feel it.
There's also a lot of people upset because there isn't really many parking lots to tailgate, and I rebut that argument with sailgating. Anacostia River is clean now.
Sailgating? We should open the show with sailgating.
You don't think tailgating would be amazing?
I think it appeals to a very niche
Look
demographic.
at like Tampa. They sailgate.
They sailgate. You're
All
right.
the boats roll up. They sailgate.
I don't know how popular sailgating would be in December. Seems like a September thing for us here. Like,
I mean, it's still something unique you could do.
Yeah,
and if they give you like an actual palazza, open square,
that's what they should do. That's what they should do.
I think that's what they're gonna do.
They should have sections. I mean, a parking lot or two parking lots that are big enough for like the big tailgates, I think are always going to be, welcome. I think somebody had a comment saying like repurpose or rename the metro station. Like the metro is more important. In the end, the metro is more important. Like
the new nickname should be the DC Armory.
I'm with you on that one too. I think you put that in the chat. We've evolved from the 70s where everything was reliant upon these big old school like Oldsmobiles and Cutlasses going and needing to park. Like you need other ways to do it, right? I've even seen some suggestions about like metro bus service that picks up from like Tyson's Corner, for example. From
I think part of the agreement for the entire development was the Harris Group was going to build out and improve structure and metro and everything, and I wouldn't be surprised if they completely revamp the metro line that gets you
turbos. But I think turbos would make some sense too, right? Have some turbo pickups from Tyson's Corner, from Farrow's, from Silver Spring, from like these different areas where you can just get on. You could tailgate there, or you get on a bus and the bus goes express to the stadium and express back out.
Or I mean, if you look at that rendering, there's a lot of eco-friendly green rooftops around that they're going to build. Throw a couple breweries up there. Done.
Well, I think they'll do that, but with tailgating, it's I want to bring my pickup truck and my grill and my 20-cent burger patties, and we want to toss a hacky sack. Like it's a little bit different than spending money on a rooftop bar and whatever. But either way, the renderings universally beloved just looked great.
I can't wait for that first primetime game where all of the columns have uplighting of burgundy and gold, and you see like a drone footage coming from like the Anacostia.
Directing it now?
Shooting. Think about how cool that drone footage was for Hard Knocks of the Cowboys.
I remember it.
You have it come from Anacostia through the stadium up front. You see the super awesome glass dome thing that they're doing, and then you go straight down and you see the Capitol building, and then the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. Like it would be so epic. The glory of DC. Like think about how excited we were when what's the Netflix show with what's his face?
Quarterback one.
No, the political show.
House of Cards.
House of Cards. Remember how excited we were when House of Cards came out on Netflix and they were showing off DC? We thought it was like how awesome DC looks. That's what I want to see.
And people kept trying to figure out where the barbecue place was, and like that's fictional. There's no barbecue place.
That doesn't
exist. I haven't visited that show. Give me something to watch here. I got the rest of the day off.
Go watch The Rip.
The Rip. Is this Ben
Affleck, Matt Damon movie?
Don't no spoilers, but
so good.
Really?
So good.
Can we bump one of Peter's? Bump Peter's terrible movie?
Bump Peter and his movies.
I think. I listen. We have a rule on OMC. If you get a DNF, like I don't think we've had a DNF yet. Peter's pick of Mountainhead.
Also,
it might be my first DNF. It's
Peter's suggesting a movie he hasn't seen yet. He hasn't seen Mountainhead.
That's true. He suggested it came to light later on that he had never seen it. So he's also rejecting us. Although I did the same with that terrible cop Fast and Furious thing. So I was like, yeah, this is true. That's true. You're right. It was thematically, connected to what we were doing. All right, I'm going to check out The Rip. Maybe we'll get on and do a little OMC later this week. Anything you want to plug, FP? I know there was some baseball stuff with the Dodgers getting, reloading and rebuilding and reloading on the fly.
I know. Yeah, Matt is out on the baseball season already because of the Dodgers.
Very pissed.
Stevie's sized because I think technically baseball starts on Valentine's Day. The preseason stuff. So,
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, it's whatever.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the football season to go away, and we get to really dive into the Wizards rebuild and then the Caps playoff push. That's what I'm excited for.
Yes, I will say I'm gonna miss football. Like March sadness to me is a real thing. Like I hate the month of March.
It's easier to miss football when your team was shitty.
That's true. That's true. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. Anything you want to plug?
No, happy Martin Luther King Day. Happy long weekend. Happy
long weekend. I think we're due for some snow this week. We'll see how that plays out.
I'm ready for some snow.
FP, thanks for
Chicago next weekend. It's gonna be freezing. I'm gonna die. High of -1.
You might die. Yes,
I'm
you
gonna
might die. Yeah, you need the heated socks and the electric vests and all that stuff.
I need bourbon in an IV.
It's true too. Safe travels, FP. Safe travels. For what it's worth, I was in Philly for 2 days, for one night, and it was 9.
Shower.
I mean, I showered nonstop. I scrubbed. I did have a cheesesteak egg roll that
interesting
blew my mind. Like I will never go and stand in the line and order a cheesesteak again. I want cheesesteak egg rolls. Like
that sounds fantastic.
It's so good. It's so freaking good. But I'll tell you about that one later on. Thank you for everybody for hanging out. Episode 368 is in the books. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for everybody that's checking us out on Patreon. Appreciate it. Look out for an OMC probably later this week. We'll figure out which 2 movies we're going to do. There's a couple people that want to actually get on the OMC. We're going to figure out how we're going to do that. One person suggested if they pay a fee to pick a movie for us, that we would then split after watching the movie. We would then invite them on to be on the show to give their rating. That idea has some legs, FP. Are you okay with that? If somebody wants to pay us to watch a movie?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like I think that could work. Like you put $100 in, you give us 2 movies, we pick one of them.
$100. Oh, we're expensive.
I mean, it's you and I splitting it. I'm not giving money to anybody else in the
okay, fair.
Right, like so it's 50-50, and we'll they give us a couple movies to pick from, or maybe 2 movies to pick from, and then we pick one and we watch it and we bring them in to discuss. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But thank you for everybody that joined on Patreon. Appreciate it. That's where the shows go first, and then you can get them everywhere else by the end of the week. This is episode 368, DTC, Defeating the Curse. Email the show anytime, defeatingthecurse@gmail.com. You can find us on basically every social media platform and Patreon now as well. You can connect with us directly on Patreon. Until next week, happy MLK Day. We are out.